All right, this story's from ABC News. Trump and RFK Jr. go after antidepressants and weight loss drugs. Here's what the science says. What makes me fucking mad about this is not that I think that it is, and like I have a little bit of a minority view on this, I realize, but like I do think that there is something to be said for
overprescribing,
for prescribing drugs that like therapy does a better job for in the long term, for understanding the side effects of some of these things. There's real criticism.
Emergency subscription of drugs.
Yeah.
Prescription of drugs where someone just wants to get you out of your office kind of. Yeah.
You know, and like I have had opportunity to look into some of these things myself. And like there is not a lot of good evidence for some of these medicines in the long term.
Yeah.
And there are people
bad side effects
and there's
for some of them.
Terrible side effects that people are not counseled on. There's room to do better is what I want to say. The problem is RFK Jr. doesn't know shit about fuck, just like I don't. Do not take medical advice from me. I don't know anything. I'm a guy on a podcast. RFK Jr. is no more qualified than me.
Yeah, he's less qualified, I'd argue.
Right, yeah, I would too.
Tommy has one more brainworm than you do.
It makes me fucking crazy because what we're doing is we're pulling these kinds of decisions out of the hands of experts.
Yeah.
And we're saying experts are not the people to answer these questions. Experts are not the people that we should go to for trust in these decisions. We should go to these raspy voiced, unelected fucking dipshits with fucking whale heads on their car with a fucking trunk full of bears for the park.
Yeah.
The thing is that the person who's supposed to be in charge of HHS, Health and Human Services, should be a motherfucking doctor.
Should know what they're doing.
Everybody in that room should be the smartest person you've ever met.
Did you hear him talk about the measles outbreak this week?
No, Christ. Oh, God. What did he fucking say?
See if we can find it real quick.
Jesus, fuck me.
All right, so let me play you, Tom, what happened at a meeting this week when he was asked about the measles outbreak.
There's a measles outbreak in Texas at the moment in which a child is reported to have died. Do you have concerns about that? And have you asked Secretary Kennedy to look into that?
Well, why don't we, Bobby, do you want to speak on that?
No, we are following the measles epidemic every day. I think there's 124 people who have contracted measles at this point in Kings County, Texas. Mainly, we're told in the Mennonite community. There are 2 people who have died, but we're watching it, and there are about 20 people hospitalized, mainly for quarantine. We're watching it. We put out a post on it yesterday, and we're going to continue to follow it. Incidentally, there have been 4 measles outbreaks this year. In this country last year, there were 16. So it's not unusual. We have measles outbreaks every year.
How long is this year so far?
It's been 10 minutes into the year.
So he did you hear what he did there?
Yeah, he blew it off.
He's like there was 16 last year. There's been 4. Well, it's only been 2 months.
Yeah, man. So if there were four in 2 months, then if I extrapolate that out, let's see, there's going to be more.
And I guarantee he didn't start it from the first of the year.
Right.
He probably started it from the 20th of January when he was put in office.
Well,
or when Trump came in office.
And any amount of measles in this day and age is unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. Because in the year 2000, in the year 2000, measles was eradicated from the United States.
Yeah.
It was eradicated. Any measles.
This guy's a disaster.
He's terrible.
And he's not the only one, right? Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Hegseth, they're all bad.
The worst.
They're all the worst at their job. And I was talking about it last week when we were talking about like how you just dig through your own Rolodex and just pick the fucking least qualified person that you personally know. But man, these people are awful. Pick that Tom Bombadino guy or whatever, the guy, Bognino or whatever his name is, who's a podcaster.
Dude, we're podcasters. You don't have to do anything but get a microphone and yell into it.
He's a podcaster, man.
I know. Well, dude, fucking like Linda McMahon, the fucking wrestling lady.
Yeah.
Is in charge of like the Department of Education, right? Like last time Trump was in charge, it was the Amway lady.
That's right. It was Davos or
Betsy DeVos. Betsy DeVos.
So Davos is something else.
They put the fucking Amway lady in the first time. He put a fucking wrestling lady in this time. He's no respect for any of these positions.
This, at least in his first term, he went out to try to find people he didn't really know that were part of, who was his first Secretary of State? Do you remember that guy who was a Tillerson?
Rex Tillerson. That's
who was like a businessman, but he was like a CEO, big businessman, right? They didn't get along, but they didn't know each other beforehand.
Right.
He wasn't a sycophant. He went out and found people that were not necessarily sycophants. All these people, every single one of them is totally loyal to him.
Yeah. Yep.
None of them would stand up to him. Look at, even fucking Jeff Sessions was like, yeah, I'm gonna recuse myself from this.
Yeah.
Like, even certain people who are like, Jeff Sessions is he's a dark side Keebler elf. Like, he is, like, there's nothing about that guy that's good, but even he was willing to step away.
Even Bill Barr. Even Bill fucking Barr at the end of things. At the fucking last, as the Titanic was slipping beneath the waves, admittedly.
The people he has now are a fucking disaster. An absolute disaster.
Yeah.